Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. You don't want to miss any of my updates. Today I'm going to talk to you about Beyond the Gates. So we had Friday, and it was a doozy. And, okay, now I got to recap what happened on Friday. So bear with me. My heart goes out to Jacob because Jacob is really upset about his best friend dying. And he feels as though it's his fault, but it's not. I will say this. He did try to protect Derek, because Derek came to the warehouse, and I'm going to go ahead and say it. Elon and Marcel, what was y'all doing? Y'all was supposed to be out there watching, and y'all was supposed to have somebody walk, and he snuck past somebody, and he got up in there. Will I blame Grayson? I'm going to blame Ashley. And I'm going to tell you why. This all starts with all the stuff that's happened, and then Ashley playing the grieving widow. Girl, sit down. It's like you hated that man. Like, after the whole thing about the lying and then the whole thing about your feelings with Andre, it was just so much. And then somebody had posted a clip on Twitter when they had delivered the baby, her and Andre in the elevator. And what Derek had to go through, he could tell that Ashley and Andre had feelings for each other. Okay. Now I remember Kat walking in on her grandparents. Let's get it on. And I was like, oh my God, Kat, your poor eyes. And then Martin walked in on them, getting hot and bothered. I'm just like, bruh, y'all, no one calls anymore. Like, everybody has a key to the Rand's house, and everybody walking in. I'm so glad Nicole and Danny didn't walk in. Bill is handshaking again. I think I mentioned that in previous video. I don't know. Haley is trying to poison him. And before that, he had a stroke last year in season 1. And this is before Danny got married to Andre, but she was sleeping with him. And she rushed up to the hospital. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm sick of her and Bill beating each other's face. Like, anybody else tired of them being in each other's face? It's just like, why do y'all keep beating each other's face? If it's not you, it's him. And it's just like, I understand that y'all had X amount of years marriage, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. Y'all are both married to different people. He left you for Haley. You're with Andre. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. If it's nothing to do with the kids, because I know, well, they're not kids. They're grown. I'm going to go ahead and say it. They got phones. You better handle it that way. I'm going to go ahead and say it. It's too much communication right there. It really is. And because y'all kids are grown. Like, me and my friend was saying, like, y'all kids are grown. Y'all don't need to have all the many conversations. Because when your mom had cancer and you went over there to his house, and he was like, Dad, you gotta stop coming from over here. He was like, it's about our daughters. Y'all act like them kids is grown. Now, I will give Ted and Nicole this. I will give them so much grace when it comes to this, because Ted and Nicole don't be in each other's face like that, especially when their kids are dealing with issues. Like, yes, I've seen Nicole here recently say stuff to Ted, but before, after the divorce, Nicole wasn't all up on Ted telling her stuff. I see Danny more at Bill face, and Bill in her face, and Bill is more in her face now because of her being married to Andre. And it's just like, girl, because when she first got married to Andre, he's like, I'm looking out for my daughters and her money. Andre has money. And that's one thing I always have to remind people. Ted has money. His brother had money. His brother and his sister-in-law died in a plane crash. So Andre's parents had money, and they left him quite a bit of it. So he didn't need Danny for no money, just like you needed Danny when you married her, because she had money, because she was a model, and her dad had money too. So, and her parents had money with them, because her mom was a singer and her dad was a senator, and he had wealth, because I think he comes from wealth too, because their grandfather built the country club. Which I'm going to go ahead and say, let's talk about it. How y'all family built the country club, and y'all can stand up to Anastasia. Anastasia is also one of the characters. She's not mentioned that much, but she and her granddaughter, and Samantha, Nicole's granddaughter, were doing cotillion together. And Anastasia was like, how can she win when she's really not a Dupree? Because Samantha is adopted. It does not matter. She's still adopted, and it doesn't matter, what type of blood she has. She's still in the Dupree family because they adopted her. Martin, Nicole's oldest son, adopted her. As always, I'm all over the place, so I'm just trying to get my talking out of Beyond the Gates. There's so many layers to this show. So, where was I at? Oh, Danny and Bill, and then Ted and Nicole. Nicole is starting to tell Ted stuff, but it's not like Danny. Danny is like, she still leans on him like they're still married, like she's not married to Andre, and how, Andre's parents passed, and he has money, and Bill was worried about his kids' inheritance, and I'm like, did you worry about your inheritance when you was married to Haley, or when they were reminiscing about the law firm a couple weeks ago, and he said he wanted to leave it to Naomi. And then here recently, Danny was going in on him about Mike. Mike used to work for him, so Mike and him was one of his partners, and Mike was, sexually harassing the young ladies in the workplace. And it's like Bill turned a blind eye to it, because I'm gonna go ahead and say, even a conversation that he recently had with Bill, because Bill is doing a case for his daughter Chelsea's fiance Madison, and she's getting sued for malpractice because her mom is like all into herbs and stuff. So she feels as though, her daughter's a doctor, and she said there's a way to get, without going to the doctor. And she had expressed something to her mom about something that she could use, like a remedy or something. And her mom had put on her blog, and she was like, my daughter agrees with it. And the lady used it, and I think her son or daughter, I want to say it was a son, and I think the child almost died or did die, and now she's trying to sue Madison. And they was like, they encouraged Madison to do a settlement, like a settle, and that's what Bill had said too. And Mike is taking the case against the young lady that is suing Madison, and Mike, he knows everything about Bill. So I'm going to go ahead and say I'm ready for that. I'm ready for the showdown between Mike and Bill, because Bill had to end up firing Mike because his daughter had took a case in season 1 about the 3 young ladies that came forward about the case, and we wanted to see that, but it didn't happen. He rehired them, gave them a settlement, and he also had Tomas, which is Kat's boyfriend. Kat is Nicole and Ted's daughter, and Tomas, her boyfriend, works there. Tomas got I say Tomas is junior partner because he caught Bill and Danny locking lips. Now, Danny and Bill have locked lips 3 times. She's told Andre about one of the incidents. She hasn't told him about the other 2 incidents. So I'm just like, okay, is that going to be talked about too? And I feel bad for Andre, because Andre, he cut off Ashley because I thought he was going to be trying to do merry-go-round with her. And I'm going to go ahead and say I think the writers are trying to set that up for him and Ashley going to have merry-go-rounds because of Derek passing away. So he gave Tomas that job, and he still treats Tomas really bad. And I'm going to go ahead and say that Tomas is trying to be by the book and doing stuff, and he tells Kat stuff, and Kat's trying to be her little investigator. Kat is her little investigation because she was helping Jacob with his investigation. I used to be laughing. I'm like, Jacob, how she a better investigator than you? Because it was just funny. But my thing is, though, my biggest problem is Danny and Bill are always in each other's face. And I'm going to go ahead and say, Danny, he has played in your face multiple times. And then he left you for a younger girl. I'm going to go ahead and say, you should be thinking like, dang, is there something wrong with me? My ex-husband left me for a young girl that's the same age as our oldest daughter. No. There's nothing else to say. It's called to heal. Take it one day at a time and heal and move on and be happy with your new man. Because Bill played in your face. There's nothing you cannot tell me. Chicken, cat, dog, scratch my behind. Hey, how you doing? Nothing. Because it as the old saying go, it doesn't cost nothing to speak. But I'm gonna go ahead and say it. He throws it up in your face. He always wants to make fun of your husband. He wants to say stuff, and he always disrespecting your husband. No, baby. And even though you do the same thing, y'all should just stop, because there's nothing else to talk about. And that's why I will always refer to Ted and Nicole as a better spouser when it came, even though Ted cheated on Nicole years and years ago and had an outside child, but he didn't know the child exists because he thought she got rid of the baby. But he was a better man than Bill. But they both cheated. That's why people be trying to like give Bill a pass. No, let's not give him a pass, because y'all don't even give Ted a pass. What else can I say? Give me one second. Y'all, I'm sorry. I'm trying to think what all happened on Friday episodes. Oh, Leslie's sitting down with Haley. Haley and her cousin Randy. Randy works for Joey. And he gave her some kind of like drip drops to basically poison Bill. And Bill is slowly but surely like declining. It's like really, really slow, because it's just amazing what she's doing. And I'm like, girl, why are you doing all that? Girl, you should have just had a baby and then made sure you was good. But I'm going to say this. He's a lawyer, so I'm going to go ahead and say if she did divorce Bill, she wouldn't get nothing because you know how lawyers are. Not all lawyers, but some lawyers. So, yeah. And Leslie knows her trick. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. Leslie knows something. And it's sad when Leslie has to call you out on your SHIT and she's saying you're going about it in the wrong way. It's amazing. If you're going to be a con, I'm going to go ahead and say this is why I say where the con is not conning. Because how are you a con artist and you suck at it? You really do. Because how can another woman that does the same thing you do got it and she know what you're doing? Yeah, I know game recognize game, but you're supposed to be so tight knit with it that no one else should know it. Like, girl, you supposed to be trying to get here and con this man out his millions of dollars and trying to, because he got a life insurance policy for $10 million that Haley gets if he dies. And I'm just like, yeah, this doesn't make sense. Yeah, I'm a need for Miss Haley, to step her con up, because when her friend Lynette came to town and had Bill take her case, Lynette was a better con artist than her, because Bill, and I'm going to say, Bill, you're supposed to be a whole lawyer. You lawyer. You can't read people. You are Naomi. Because how y'all missed the con? Like, I understand y'all supposed to read people. And I'm going to say Cat Radar wasn't reading people either. Yeah, it's not reading. It's not reading. I need people that can read people better, because I'm going to go ahead and say body language never lies. It never lies. Joey asking Bill to help him. And I'm going to go ahead and say, I don't know if y'all remember in season 1 when Joey had Doug killed. Doug had went to Bill about something private matter, and Bill went and told him. So I'm going to go ahead and say, Bill need to go down for that too. And the people say, oh, but he didn't pull the trigger. He put the nail in the coffin because you went and told Joey Armstrong what Bill said. And I'm going to go ahead and say, Joey is smart. They write Joey to be the smartest person on there. And I was telling my friend, they really do, because he's calculated. But it's kind of like, okay, this impaler for this plasma ring may be Joey's match, for real. And I want to know who it is. People are saying they think it's Kyle. People are saying it could be Nicole. I don't think it's Nicole though, but I mean, that would be a good storyline for Nicole. Somebody said, what if it's Vernon? And I'm gonna go ahead and say, what if it is Vernon? I'm gonna go ahead and say, I'm gonna do a video on that to say who is the impaler, because I want to do a deep dive and say who it should be and how should it be connected. But if it would be Vernon, that would be a good connection for a storyline. I know that for next week, they're going to have them link up with one of the people from the other stories. I think it's The Bold and Beautiful. Don't quote me to run, because I don't know. I know it's Victor Newman. That's all I know. And I don't remember which one he plays on. I know that's sad, because that is sad, because my grandma used to watch the stories, and I did watch it with her sometimes when she came around or whatever. Well, not really came around, but, when I was around her or whatever. But she watched them, because she lived in Georgia. I lived in Florida when I was little. And then when my mom passed, we moved to Atlanta. She was in Twin City, Georgia. So when we did come visit her, we used to watch the stories, and we'd be like, okay, it was so intense, but we didn't watch it from the beginning, so we don't know really what we're watching. We're watching something, and it looks good, but we don't know what's all going on. Because I'm the type of person, I'll watch a show regardless of how long it's been on, but I want to go back and watch it. I know you can't do that with certain episodes of the show. So I think it is The Bold and the Beautiful, or The Young and Restless. I think it's The Young and the Restless. But if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. You don't want to miss any of my updates. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and have a wonderful day.